Good morrow, everyone. Today, I want to talk about the movie The Whale and why I think it wasn't nominated for an Best Picture at the Oscars, even though Brendan Fraser won Best Actor. So let's discuss this one. Okay, so in The Whale, Brendan Fraser plays Charlie. He is a morbidly obese, reclusive English professor. He can't walk without a walker. When he teaches his class online, he doesn't use his camera. And like when he orders food, which is usually 2 large pizzas, he just has the delivery person leave them on on a chair, and then he collects the pizzas basically when the delivery person leaves. Charlie has, if I remember correctly, congestive heart failure. And it's when basically the heart can pump blood throughout the body as it should. Which typically does happen in people who are severely overweight, but conditions can happen in most people, but I'm sure that's why he has it. So in the opening scene, he suffers, I guess you can call it a heart palpitation, after he climaxes from masturbating, which is not something someone in his condition should be doing. Now, he does have this friend named Liz, who is a nurse, and she does come by and check on him. And through her, after this incident in the beginning, we pretty much learned that he can die at any moment. Like, his situation is that bad. And you can, tell that these two are pretty close, even though she's angry with him. She can't stay angry too long. They have like a nice little friendship. She spends time with him and things like that. But you can really feel her concern for Charlie. All right. Now, the heart episode, after Liz checks him and everything, is what triggers Charlie to reach out to his estranged daughter named Ellie, who is played by Sadie Sink. And he has not seen her in about 8 years. And that is because he fell in love with a TA or someone from his work who happened to be a man. So he and his wife separated, and it seems just that the wife kept him from Ellie. There's never any mention of any type of legal custody situation. It just seems that he just, Charlie just accepted the fact that his ex-wife didn't want to be around him anymore. So a year or two before we meet Charlie, his partner, who was a part of this like Mormon Scientology type of religion, ended up killing himself. And this caused Charlie to fall into a very severe and deep depression, which caused him to, just pretty much eat and end up in the state that we, see him in right now. So when Charlie reaches out to Ellie, she does end up coming over to see him for the first time in 8 years. And she's angry, just kind of full of angst, which is very understandable, in her situation though. So I'll give her that. All right. And so the only way that Ellie says that she'll, spend time and talk with him is if he writes an essay for her class because she's failing. And Charlie, of course, agrees to do this, right away. Over the course of about a week, Ellie comes and spends a few hours with Charlie behind her mom's back, by the way. And he tries to get to know her a bit, but she's extremely stubborn. She gives a little here, she gives a little there, but, ultimately, she's just, I think, too angry to fully open up and, talk with her dad the way that he is wanting to talk with her. And so over this course, over this time, Charlie's condition worsens to the point that he goes from having a walker to a wheelchair and an oxygen tank at one point. In the end, Ellie comes for her essay, and Charlie instead gives her an essay that she wrote as a kid, which he had been using throughout the movie to calm himself. Whenever he would have any type of heart pain, he would, reach for this essay, start reading it, and it would help him calm down.
I failed.
It's a really good essay.
Are you just trying to screw me over one last time?
She, of course, is angry, and he gives her this speech about how special and creative she is and all this other stuff, words of encouragement, things that, most kids probably want to hear from their parents. And so he, in turn, tries to stand, just tries to stand up. He tried to do this earlier for Ellie when she first got there, and he fell to his knees. So when he tries this, Ellie starts reading the essay. And I'm sorry, I don't really know what the essay is about. I completely forgot, but
Around trying to kill a certain whale. I think this is sad because this whale doesn't have any emotions and doesn't know how bad Ahab wants to kill him.
as he's trying to stand, she starts reading this essay. He gets to his feet, he takes a couple steps, and then there's this big white light, and you can just kind of infer from there that he died. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the summary of the movie. Ever since The Whale first started being shown at the festivals, everyone's been talking about Brendan Fraser's comeback performance, which is well deserved. I mean, he's great in this role, and I really can't wait to see more of him coming up. The movie, however, has not been celebrated nearly as much. During award season, Brendan Fraser has racked up 4 Best Leading Male performances. The only award I found that the movie received was for Best Makeup and Hairstyling at the Oscars, which was also well deserved. And I think this is because the movie is all right, but I wouldn't say that it's good. Like, this is not something I see myself watching again unless maybe I was watching it with a friend or something and they hadn't seen it before. The biggest issue is the main character. Like, I really wonder what the writers wanted us to feel for Charlie. Are we supposed to feel bad for him? Like, he has this line a few times in the movie when it comes to, why he's talking to Ellie all of a sudden is,
I need to know that I have done one thing right with my life.
Excuse me? Look, I know that depression is real, but he has chosen not to get help. He has spent years, I don't know, I think like 2 years or so, eating himself into this situation. And he could have gotten help at any time. All right. Turns out that he has hundreds and thousands of dollars that he could have been using to get himself right. Instead, he chose to wallow. If he really cared about his daughter, why didn't he get better? I get everybody needs their grieving time, but when you're a parent, like, you have to put your child first. And he didn't. In none of these situations did he put Ellie first. When he got with his partner, he completely forgot about her. I don't care. Like, you decided, I don't care how angry the wife was or anything. If you truly cared about your daughter, you would have fought to see her. Instead, you chose to go live this new life with your new younger partner, living your full life and all this, and not caring about your daughter until you're on your deathbed. There are only 2 people that I feel bad for. First is Liz, because she not only lost her brother, oh yeah, by the way, Charlie's partner was her brother, but she's also had to watch a friend eat himself to death. Until I found out their relationship, I was wondering why she was basically aiding Charlie in what he was doing. But she probably understands just how terrible he feels, what grief he's going through, because it was her brother. She's feeling it too. Everybody handles grief in very different ways. And I guess that's just something that she recognized and just did whatever she could to help. The second person is Ellie. All right, imagine this. Imagine what it must feel like to be 7 or 8 and to have your parents not only separate, all right, but your dad basically disappears from your life for the next 8 years. Then one day he contacts you out of the blue and you decide to go and see him. All right. He turns out to be nothing like the man that he was. He's now this overweight, grief-stricken man. All right. And he then lies to you that he's going to write an essay if you visit, which you do. All right. So you see him for a couple of days, as much as you can stand, because you have your right to be angry. And then after, giving you some nonsense, trying to parent you after all these years, instead of giving you the essay that he promised he would write, he gives you something that you wrote when you were 6 and then basically drops dead in front of you. Like, how am I supposed to feel any form of sympathy towards Charlie, towards anybody who does this to their daughter? Another reason I think the movie itself wasn't celebrated is because it's one of those movies that when I first watched it, I just was thinking, what's the point? Like, honestly, what was the point of this story? And then after sitting with it for a little bit, I figured, depending on maybe who you are, your life, you could have come away with it with a few different things from it. All right. The number one, obesity is bad. Spend time with your loved ones. Judging people is bad. Be a better parent, in whatever way that, you may need to be a better parent. maybe giving second chances. Like there's a couple different things that you could get from it, but I couldn't say exactly what the reasoning behind this story was. All right, now here's a few things that I did like about the movie. One was Brendan Fraser's makeup. Like it was so good. Very practical effects. I'm a huge fan of that. And he like this man really looked like he was just huge. So good job to those people. Brendan Fraser's performance. All right, even though I think the movie wasn't all that, he still put on him and everyone really put on great performances in this movie. And I really like movies or anything where it's kind of self-contained. Like the entire movie takes place in his apartment. And then, yeah, that's it. That's what I liked. All right. Well, hey, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. Next week or like a week and a half, maybe, I'm going to be talking about that show, The Swarm from Amazon. So please stick around. Have a good one.